An Indian judge has sentenced 4 men convicted earlier this week of a brutal gang rape and murder to hang. Tripti Lahiri in our New Delhi bureau has the story. Tripti, tell us a little bit about the reaction to the judge's verdict. This is obviously a case that has transfixed and roiled India.
Yes, it certainly has. Our reporters were there today. They said that the suspects, one of them collapsed, one of them cried. The parents of the victim expressed happiness that they had got closure and they had got the sentence that they have been asking for from the beginning. Protesters outside the courthouse said this was a good sentence, and they were cheering and clapping. I hear even some journalists, Indian journalists outside the courtroom were clapping as well.
And the death penalty is relatively uncommon in India, is that right?
It is relatively uncommon. According to official statistics, trial courts award maybe 130 such sentences every year, but then these have to be reviewed and upheld at the higher court level, and the Supreme Court only upholds 3 or 4 death sentences every year. And this sentence too will go to review before a higher court.
So there is a round of appeals yet, but let's talk a little bit about this case, which the gang rape occurred and murder occurred in December of last year, and it has led to substantial, not just soul searching, but also substantial change in Indian legal practice. Tell us a little bit about what has happened in the wake of this horrific event.
Okay, so quite a number of things have happened. One thing that this city saw was that 6 fast-track courts were set up, and what that meant was they left the regular legal track and they would have much more frequent hearings and be completed much faster. Usually these trials can take 3 or 4 years, and along the way there would be pressure put on the rape survivor or on other witnesses, and that would often lead to acquittals. So these courts are functioning and doing the cases much faster, 7 or 8 months. This case was about 7 months.
And are there moves to increase police presence and police sensitivity and awareness to sexual assault?
So I definitely think there is more awareness. There isn't yet a hugely increased police presence because it takes a long time and it takes funding. What we are seeing in terms of attitudes, I would say the police are trying to improve their attitudes. They're definitely doing courses on gender sensitivity. But I think where we really see the change attitudes is among young women and young men. And there's been this huge rise in reporting of sex crimes of different kinds, whether it's sexual harassment on the street or whether it's a crime like rape. And that's been a big change.
And has there been, are you starting to see evidence or statistics or numbers that suggest that there is a rise in prosecutions, a rise in the willingness of the justice system to take on these cases and to see them through to fruition?
Well, we're definitely seeing a huge rise in reporting to the police, and the police are recording those cases and they are investigating them and moving them on towards the trial system. Because this rise in cases had just happened in recent months, those cases will just start going to trial shortly. So we haven't seen a skyrocketing of cases, of convictions coming out of the system yet. Those are sort of quite steady still, but I'm sure we probably will see those numbers rising, the number of trials in rape cases increasing in coming months and years.
Tripti, thank you very much.